All right, everyone, here we are again with another awesome special guest interview for this week here on our show. We have our first active member of the TNA roster on our show. Nice. He is a former TNA Tag Team Champion. He is the Supermex. He is Hernandez. Welcome to the show, man.
What's going on, guys? Great to be here, man.
Thanks so much, man. We really appreciate you having you on. Let's go ahead and just get right on into it. Break the ice a little bit, kind of get to know you. We all know, you're from here. You're, one of our hometown guys, and that's really freaking awesome. So I'd like to ask you, man, how did you get into wrestling, when you were younger, when you were a kid?
Well, my daddy was a Green Beret in the Army for 30 years. And he traveled all around the world, his Army bases, and he finally got here in Houston. And so we got into the Paul Bosch Houston wrestling back, in the, the mid-'80s. You can see the Guerreros, Bravo and Hector. You can see Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Hacksaw Butch Reed, One Man Gang. You name it, the Kamala, all the biggest stars back in the early 80s, brother. It was awesome.
That is what I hear. During that time, I was just, such a little kid, but, I hear stories from my parents and, from my grandparents, about how awesome wrestling was here, back in the day, in the Houston area. It was a hotbed of wrestling and, to hear, it confirmed yet again here on our show. It's just really awesome. And I like for, Houston to, get back to that point at some point here. But there is some things going on, in the Houston area, in the Texas area, and you were a part of that. You wrestled in the indie scene here, in the South Texas area for a good long while. In fact, you wrestled at, Texas All-Star Wrestling, which is still around today. Can you tell us a little bit about, your indie wrestling experience here in the, Houston and South Texas area?
Well, in the South Texas area, I mostly got trained, by Turbo Taylor and his son Chaz. In the late 90s. I started with Texas All-Star Wrestling probably in 1999 and wrestled probably until about 2002. And, back then, wrestling was hot. The WWE and WCW, ECW was really hot. So, obviously it trickles downhill. On the indies, we were drawing 500-800 people.
That's pretty big crowd here for an indie fed.
59 and 59 in the Beltway, it's a big humble bingo hall. Promoter will put, back then I was Hot Stuff Hernandez, and I wrestled this young man named Necro Butcher.
Nice.
And we would draw 500 to 600 people. Just you put Hot Stuff versus Necro hardcore match. And draw 500 people.
Wow.
Plus 4 of the matches.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't realize that Necro actually wrestled here, during that time period. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Learn something every day.
If you don't mind, I'll give you a nice little story about Necro Butcher.
Oh.
All right.
Necro's one of the both games of hardcore wrestling, because I was only like in normal style wrestling, I guess, if you can call it. And, before I started, making a living in wrestling, from 95 to 2001, I was a impound manager for the Houston Police Department. It means if you get a DWI or if you use your car towed for warrants or something, they tow your car to a lot, and I was the manager. You had to take your car from me. So you can imagine how dangerous that job was, because all you get was an axe handle. People were jump the fence to get their cars, and if you're in jail for say a week or 2 weeks, that bill piles up pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I worked my way in from the night shift, which was 6 at night to 8 in the morning. I worked my way up to manager with them, say, like 4 or 5, about 1999, and I needed a night manager, and the only one that could do the job was the Necro Butcher was my night manager.
Really?
So if you can imagine, you're drunk at a club, and you get your car towed for illegally parking and you're talking all kinds of crap on the phone that you're gonna beat them up and this and that. When you pick up your car, and there's this 6'5" white hippie just waiting for you.
Nice.
Yeah, I would imagine that Necro Butcher and Hernandez being the guys that you had to deal with when your car is like that would be a very, very scary proposition.
It was a sight to behold sometimes. I mean, because a lot of times we'd get a lot of cars that were legally parked from the Houston rodeo. So we'd be dealing with 70 to 100 drunk cowboys at night. Now when I fight on the phone, when I see us in person, then they go, okay, this I was paying late. Okay, you do that.
It's all like, oh, yes, sir. Here you go, sir. Thank you, sir. After all that.
The same thing you see these guys on the internet with these Facebook guys, with these social media guys that talk crap amongst each other, you know, and then they see someone in public and then they pretend they don't know the person.
Yeah.
Everybody's tough behind a phone or keyboard. You know how it is.
Yeah. We deal with that sometimes a little bit too. But now I remember when I was really young, I saw you at an indie fed and I brought it up on the show before, and we tried looking it up on the internet and we couldn't figure out the name of this thing. All I remember is that it was in Pasadena on at a nightclub on Spencer and Strawberry, and it was ran by, of all people, Marty Jannetty. And I remember you were wrestling, because I remember the name Hot Stuff Hernandez, and you were wrestling as a heel. And me being a stupid little kid, like I was booing you and, you know, kind of getting on your case. And I remember you turned around and you looked at me and you pointed at me and said something intimidating. I can't remember exactly what it was, but you shut me the hell up. And I cannot for the life of me remember what the name of that fed was that Marty Jannetty ran.
It was a very short-lived promotion. It's called Power Zone Wrestling.
PZW, that's what it was. Power Zone Wrestling. There you go. Thank you. I've been trying to scratch that itch forever, and I couldn't freaking remember it.
That's the only reason you had you on tonight. You just want to know. You could have got clean for that.
Well, it's like, you know, thing. I mean, at the time in the late 90s, you know, I would say from like 99 to 2001, Texas All-Star Wrestling was the promotion to PN in Houston. So, of course, what happens to that, there's the second and third match guys get jealous if they're not in the main event, so they break off their own promotions. Just like how it does everywhere in wrestling. You know, right now I run our City Wrestling. That was Antonio. We've been around for 11 years. I have a school there. Now, San Antonio is nowhere as big as Houston.
Mm-hmm.
We draw 400 to 500 people every show, no matter what. And what happens, you know, the first, second match guys don't think they're getting a push or rub their needs. They start their own promotion. Now San Antonio has 11 different promotions in San Antonio.
Wow.
I didn't think it was that many.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's more than what we have here. All right. Now, I mean, we're talking about indies and we're talking about, you know, all these, indie promotions breaking off and all these guys want to make it on up. You did make it on up. You made it into TNA. You're a big star. You're known all over the world, all over the United States and everything. How did you get there? How did you make it on up into what's considered the big leagues?
Basically, there's two chances. You know, here I was the top draw in Houston for 2 or 3 years. You know, my pockets weren't getting any bigger. You know, and unfortunately for pro wrestling, it's not a team sport. It's when you know, if you want to make it, you have to go out there and take chances. You know, Necro Butcher taught me that firsthand. He left Houston area and went to wrestle for Ian Rotten and made his name up the East Coast doing the hardcore stuff. You know, I did it the hard way. I went to Japan like 5 or 6 times. And I was actually wrestling in Mexico with a mask on in Texas when TNA called me.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. So I didn't even know that you had wrestled in Japan and all that. That's pretty awesome.
Well, I mean, you know, some of these guys, one, I don't do a lot of interviews, and two, I don't think I should have to brag or highlight a lot of the guys that, you know, are in the business or so-called in the business want to brag and rattle off their stats to you all day, which is I think is very tiresome. You know, that's why there's Google, that's why there's Wikipedia, that's why there's other things that you do. You have to produce your your own horn, maybe you're not as good as you think you are.
Well, that sounds like some sound advice for some youngsters that are aspiring wrestlers right now. Let me ask you, who was it, or was there any wrestler out there that was a veteran that maybe gave you a piece of advice that's like stuck with you?
When I was on the indies.
Oh yeah, from indies, from wherever, from the pros, whatever.
Well, this is what I was talking about. As I was coming up, I started wrestling a lot. I maybe had like 6 matches in '98. '99, I had about 70-something matches. In 2000, I was Japan. I was my first tour in Japan and had my first WWE dark match. And I say this to all my up-and-coming students. I say this to all the guys I'm training now. If I had me back then to tell me what was right and what was wrong, I would have made it a lot sooner.
Yeah.
I finally made it full speed at 2006. I had an opportunity to make it in 2002 and 3, but there was no mentorship or veteran in the area that either didn't want to rob you blind or wanted something for themselves, or this was a plain old crook. They wanted their piece before they would help you. And that's what I do now with my guys in San Antonio. I was like, you're learning from me for free. As far as not go to school, the guys who come from outside are already trained. I try to show them what if nothing else, what the right way, or more or less what not to do wrong when you have your tryouts.
Awesome. That sounds like some good advice. I hope that there's some young guys out there listening right now that will probably take some of that stuff that you said to heart. And as far as your school goes, I mean, that's awesome. Hopefully we'll see some of your students, come on up and follow in your footsteps and get there to the to the next level, and that'd be pretty awesome.
What's the name
of that's what I hope for, because you see guys like the old Ring of Honor guys like Austin Aries, Low Key, Christopher Daniels, Aries. They got to live in the PA because they all knew each other. Well, I came from the Mexican Indies where I didn't know anybody. So, everyone, that would be a small goal of mine to get 2 or 3 guys prepped and ready to be at least in team here with WWE. Just have their own little clique. That's big circle life. You start at the bottom, work your way back up, and then come back as you come back down. The guys that you train are coming back up.
Awesome, sounds good. Speaking of like all that, you mentioned in there that all those other guys, they kind of knew each other, and you didn't know some of them. Well, we had what I think kind of relates to that a little bit. There's other wrestlers that are out there, and Chris, you came up with this question here. Chris, why don't you go ahead and ask him?
Yeah, you've talked about how you've worked in Japan and worked at Mexico, and now obviously you're working for TNA in the States. Is there any wrestler that you've came across that you've really wanted to work with, but for some reason just hasn't happened yet?
I've been very blessed. I mean, the person that I've wanted to work so far, I've worked. I mean, I've got to work a singles match with Sting. I've got to work with Kurt Angle. I've got to work with AJ Styles, Austin Aries. And I think those two are probably as far as putting matches together, as far as entertaining the crowd, and Bobby Roode as well. Those 3 are the best in TNA.
Oh wow, very nice.
So I mean, I've had matches with Jeff Hardy. I mean, just about everyone I could possibly want a match with, I've had a match with. I'm a huge fan of Lucha. I've had matches with Dr. Wagner, with La Parca, with Fernetico, from AAA when I was there for the whole 2010. The guy who really got me into pro wrestling as far as a fan, bar none, was a lot of people like him, a lot of people may not like him. So it was Mike Austin from the ECW.
Oh wow,
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I got a chance to tag with him in All Japan 2003, which was phenomenal for me. I mean, I got to wrestle Kawada. I've got my bucket list is pretty much done.
Wow. Right, yeah.
Well, since if you say your bucket list is done, let's say we took the Hernandez that's alive today and we put him back in time here in Texas with the wrestling that got you into it. Is there anybody from back in the day that you'd like to wrestle, like Junkyard Dog or anybody like that you saw here?
Every single one of them I would love.
Nice.
Wrestle them all. Awesome.
And also, I know throughout your career you've done both tag matches, you've wrestled tags and singles. Do you prefer singles to tags, or what do you like to do more?
Well, before, when I first started getting wrestling, I used to love singles all the time because it's you versus that man and the ref. There's three guys make one match.
Yeah.
That's it. But then once I started being on television, I was doing mostly exclusive tag matches. And me and my, he's not really my brother, but we might as well be brothers. Homicide clicked to mesh so well, I would rather tag with him to do any kind of match.
Yeah, and seeing you and Homicide, seeing that tag team, seeing LAX, that was kind of one of the attractions, I would say, that brought me over to TNA. I kind of came to TNA a little late to the party. But when I saw you guys, and of course, all the rest that were there that are really, really good too, AJ Styles and all them, Christopher Daniels, I was just a really huge fan of LAX, and I really got into y'all. And, those are some of my favorite matches, seeing you guys in there in all kinds of different tag matches with, AMW and Triple X and all that. That was some of my favorite stuff. And in fact, right now, I'm being a freaking mark, and I'm wearing my LAX t-shirt.
Well, make sure you keep that because they'll make that. That's all completely out of stock in these days now. So.
Yeah, I might even take it with me to the show at the end of the month, see if I can get that autographed.
No problem, man. Very problem.
No problem. Well, here, let me ask you, one other thing here before we start wrapping it up, getting into some of the other things. Let me ask you this: what was or what has been one of your favorite matches of your career?
It would have to be the Bound for Glory, I guess '06 or something, where we had was me and Homicide and Conan versus AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels. We want to check those back in the cage, the Success Steel cage.
Mm-hmm.
And that match that put us on the map right there, And then maybe 2011, it hasn't been seen alive, but it was myself and Homicide. Ring of Honor made some special deal or something to get me to come wrestle there for one night only. To wrestle Chris Hero and Claudio Castagnoli, or the guy who's Antonio Cesaro now.
Mm-hmm.
Castagnoli.
Oh, yeah.
And that, if you ever get a chance to see it was Manhattan Mayhem of 2011. It was March 2011. Us four, we tore the house down, man. It was really, really good. It was the Manhattan Center Ring of Honor. I love that Ring of Honor crowd. Nothing's better, nothing's more rapid than being in front of that crowd.
Yeah.
I'll definitely have to check out that Ring of Honor match because I haven't seen that one, but I have seen the one with LAX versus Styles and Daniels. That was a really, really good match. I agree with you on that one. That was freaking awesome. But let's start wrapping it up a little bit. I mentioned it a little bit earlier that you're going to be here at the Clutch City Productions Sports and Celebrity Supershow. And, you're going to be making the appearance on August 31st there. Let me ask you, what are you going to be doing there? You signing autographs, selling 8x10s, taking pictures, all of the above, none of the above? What you going to be doing?
I'll be there from 10 to 2. I'll be autographing pictures, autographing whatever you have. I have pictures. I will have also Supermax t-shirts. So, you can't miss it because it's one of the few times in South Texas where you're going to see the whole, the backbone of NWO back in the 90s. The Hall and Nash and X-Pac will be there. That's the centerpiece. I'm there. Robbie from TNA will be there. Tess Michael
We're definitely stoked for that show. It's going to be awesome meeting all those guys. It's going to be awesome meeting you again. We also have, a few other legends showing up, Tito Santana, Greg the Hammer Valentine. And then, also it was announced that, Scott Norton's going to be there. So adding more to the NWO, base. And then today, Miss Jackie was announced that she was going to be there as well. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty good. This show it seems like they're announcing a new person every week. And it's just going to be a really, really awesome show. And I look forward to seeing all those people there, and I look forward to seeing you there. We're going to have a booth. So, hopefully all the listeners that are checking out the show right now will come see us. It's just going to be a great time. And, that's that. Thank you so much for this time, for coming on our show, Hernandez. Is there anything you want to add before we just get on out of here?
Nothing, brother. I mean, you guys, you're very professional. I love the interview. It was short, quick, and painless. Every person that needs to be interviewed by you guys, because it was very easy. You made it very smooth. That's the props for you guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, man. We appreciate that. We hope to talk to you again very, very soon.
Well, thanks for having me, buddy.